So please give a big, big welcome to Omid Farivar.
Okay, so yeah, so you probably saw the name of the talk. So I'm gonna do something else that I've always wanted to do. There it is, which is do my best Michael Buffer impersonation. So here I go. It's either gonna suck balls or I'm gonna be really good at it. So deep breath. Okay. To the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world on HBO. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to micro! Thank you. Okay, I'm done. Yeah, that was pretty sick. Nice job. So my talk is about eSports. I love eSports. And just out of curiosity, how many of you are gamers? By a show of hands? Well, a fair amount. How many of you, harder question, know where this picture was taken? Yeah.
Staples Center?
Nice! For what event?
I don't know, League of Legends?
Yeah! Give the man a cookie. Okay, awesome. So, who knows who these guys are? Yeah? Okay, cool. One person. That's great. So what makes me qualified to talk about esports to you all tonight? So, I actually used to be a very, very competitive video gamer myself. I played a game called In the Groove 2. My alias was Demo, my name backwards. I got to 4th in the world. Pretty big deal. These are some of my buddies at that time. The game is just like Dance Dance Revolution, so I am really good at this. So that's all you need to know. I currently work with several people who are here tonight from my work, so woo! Love you guys. So I work at KickSci. We make web and mobile games. I am a games user researcher. Does not look like this yet-ish. It does look like this though. So basically, what I do kind of is like what QA does with software, I do with our players. So I study players and I study their interactions with their games, their intentions, what they say, what they do. So as you can see here in this really shitty stock photo, there is a person using this software, and we are recording both things, both the software and the person. And I make design recommendations. It's an awesome job. Tell your kids. So I also volunteer on Twitch. So Twitch TV is something I'll talk about in the very near future. And this is me and my buddy Eric. He is our KickSci product evangelist. That's his official title. Games are awesome, guys. So that is an actual title, product evangelist. Yeah, and we stream our new upcoming MOBA, which is like League of Legends. It's called Tome. Yeah, Tome, yeah. And I'm just a fan. I'm a fan. I love esports. Dare I say, I fucking love esports. And I want to share my passion, because that's what this is about, right, Bart? So I want to share my passion with you all. So, that's enough vanity for now. So, esports. That's it. That's esports right there. It's competitive video games. It's awesome. So to define it a little further, so this is what Wikipedia has to say about it. Wikipedia says it is a term for organized video game competitions, especially between professionals. Great. Thanks, Wikipedia. The real story is it's about fun. It's about money, just like anything else in life. So it started out, at least in my interpretation of esports, started out, bunch of friends, they found a video game like Smash. They're like, hey, we can measure each other's skills in a tournament. And they hosted a tournament, and all of a sudden, competitive video gaming is formed, right? So that's kind of the story, that's kind of how the story starts, right? So, yeah, there's more gamers in here than you admit to being, so fuck you. So GSL, so we start there, and then, so in Korea, StarCraft is a nationally recognized sport. So you're looking at people playing a game. Yeah. So this is all recent. This is all great. But to really give you the full kind of feel, we need to go back to 2004. So if you remember 2004, it was 10 years ago when this little startup came into being. And I'm going to show you right now the most popular, most important esports clip in all of esports history. Yeah.
Footage of Daigo actually angry. Just as turtle style. Overcome Rao. Now on the verge of putting Daigo down 1-0.
It's unadulterated madness. I mean, okay. How many of you, after watching that, are in disbelief? How many of you, after watching that, are in supreme awe and you love Street Fighter and me and want to play esports? Yeah, see? Yeah, I would assume that is the natural state of the room, so I'm just going to go with that. So you see all these people. These are all people cheering on fighting game players. Like, these are all fans and participants in a fighting game tournament. This is in Las Vegas. Happens every year. What I showed you was a clip from 2004. Still happens. The question I want you to ask all of yourselves is, are two fighting game players really causing this much excitement? The answer is a resounding yes. And this is why esports has continued to be more and more popular every year. And I'm going to break it down for you. So why is that so exciting? Why? I mean, it's just you don't know what's happening, but I'm going to tell you what's happening. So the game is Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. It's made by Capcom, old game. The setting is the semifinals of EVO 2004. Again, big tournament, happens every year. And the players are Daigo and Justin Wong, who are two of the top players of all time. They still are. And Chun-Li, which Wong is playing, is a very top-tier character. So she has very safe moves. So basically, when the other person holds back to block, she has like advantages gained from you blocking. Like, she can walk up and throw you, and she can do things that make her a safe character. So basically, she's bullshit. So this is Daigo's life at the very end of the match. I don't know if you guys were paying attention, but he has like a pixel of life. So what Justin has to do is use Chun-Li's super art, which is something you build up throughout the match by performing moves, to chip him out. So if he blocks, he's dead, because look at his life, right? So in Street Fighter 3, there is a perfect block. So if you press forward at exactly the right time, plus or minus 3 milliseconds, you can get this perfect block where you take no damage at all. So Super Art 2 has 16 hits. So he has to perfect block every hit. It has a 1-frame startup, so he has very, very little time to start the perfect block sequence. So he starts parrying, hop, 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 right? And he does that, and that's all really, really exciting. Then after the parry, this is what people don't realize, he has to parry the last hit in midair so he can execute a kill combo, because he needs the extra jumping roundhouse to combo into a lot of other things to kill her. It's crazy. So if you didn't know what happens there, this is what you know now. And Daigo has become infamous, or not infamous, I guess really famous, but what's that? Show the clip again? I don't know if I have time, but if I have, yeah, cut your MC down. All right. Okay, so now with gusto.
Daigo actually angry. Just as turtle style. Overcome Rao. Now on the verge of putting Daigo.
So right here, he wait for it. Okay, now he's gonna bait it out. He's gonna bait out the super. He's already pushing forward. He's already. So then he's baiting that. He's baiting that out. So the combo he does at the end is a jumping fierce kick, crouching medium kick, cancel into medium punch shoryuken, cancel into a super art. pretty crazy. I'm glad you guys are excited because I think it's the best thing ever. So guess what? Now all you disbelievers are like, okay, yeah, I'm sold. Yeah, let's do this. Right? Okay, that's what I wanted. So, okay, this is the argument gets on my nerves. Basically, are esports as glamorous as real sports, right? Like, do we have those personalities? Do we have the teamwork and the athleticism and the blah, 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 all that stuff? I mean, I'm gonna argue that doesn't matter. I'm gonna argue that that's ultimately, I just spoiled the next 6 slides, but I'm gonna talk to you about why, right? So I want to break it down to not esports and esports. So not esports is like IRL sports, right? So so let's talk about intent and ideas and things like that. So players in not esports, what do they want, right? Ideally, rich and famous, right? What do esports athletes want? Which is just a stupid term, but let's just go with that. They want to be rich and famous as well. They want to be recognized for playing a game to the highest of the highest echelon, right? The highest skill. Fans. I'm sure there are many people in here who aren't fans of San Francisco sports. So what? It happens, right? Like, you identify with certain teams and personalities. Esports, same thing. There isn't like a San Francisco like Dota 2 team. There are like multiple people representing, League of Legends, Dota 2 from different countries. You identify with them. I like a lot of like Ukrainian Dota 2 players. It's how it works, right? And then finally, the big idea, right? So if you play basketball, you enjoy the NBA, possibly, or college basketball because they are better than you. You pay someone to go see them perform at the highest level. Well, esports are the same. Kind of. If you can see here, there's an asterisk under pay. So that's something I want to dig at a little bit. So why did I put an asterisk here? Well, I feel like esports can do a better job at this. I feel like this is maybe the next step, is kind of standardizing what it means to contribute to esports and help it take off, essentially. So I feel like there are 3 big problems right now. I feel like the demand is there, but the business model is scattered. So there's so many different types of, I know you may not know this, but there are so many different esports leagues, so many different channels vying for our attention as gamers and fans, that it's really hard to just be like, I mean, like, come on, guys. Like, so I think that's a problem. And I think Twitch TV has done an excellent job at trying to remedy that, but still, that's only one model. And that said, Twitch.tv, you can just get on and watch for free. Some of them have advertising, some of them have subscription-based services, but ultimately you can just get on, watch for free, then go about your day. So, I don't know. Are they making money? I'm kind of ignorant on that aspect, but they could be. Finally, there are just so many goddamn games. So, there's, if you think about how many like big American sports there are, there's like football, baseball, basketball, hockey, golf, and like a few other ones, right? But like NASCAR and a few other ones. With games, there's like a list of 40 games that are like really popular right now, and the next month there'll be like 20 more really popular games. So it's kind of ridiculous. And each of those act as its own sport. So each has a loyal following. Each has identifiable personalities. It's hard. It's hard to get people, it's just hard, right? So ultimately, are esports really sports? Well, like I said earlier, maybe. It's like, and I argue that, athletic aside, programmers, dedication, hard work, what the slide says. I mean, it's basically just like they are athletic in the sense that they have team-based play. They work really hard. They have houses that they rent out as a team, and I shit you not, they play a game for 14 hours a day as their real-time profession. Like they're salaried. They have sponsorships. Semantics. So let's just say that esports are esports, and I'll continue the rest of the talk. That said, it would be so fucking awesome to have in control StarCraft 2 player take on John Jones in the octagon. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Or have Dota 2 favorite Dendi take on LeBron 1v1 Shadow Fiend mid. Oh my God, come on. But seriously, let's get to the real issue at hand here. This is a bar. If you look here, you will see that they are not watching football. They're watching StarCraft 2. So here's a cool concept you may or may not have heard about. It's called Barcraft. And Barcraft is awesome. And Blizzard, the creators of StarCraft, support Barcraft. Here is a header from their World Championship Series website promoting Barcraft. So this is really cool. And you don't even have to drink. I mean, just the idea of going to a bar surrounded by people who want to watch this esport with you, in and of itself is an awesome experience. I've done it several times. I highly recommend it. But guess what? Even for bar owners, they're now making money from us, the nerds. Because obviously nerds don't go to bars, right? I mean, clearly, I mean. But yeah, so I mean, this guy, this case study, Oregon, Beaverton, doubled what he normally takes on a Sunday. I mean, that's awesome. Yeah, we'll help out the little guy. Why not, right? Dota 2 followed suit, and instead of calling it Barcraft, because that sounds like StarCraft, they called it Pub Stomp, which is what you call your team of 5 going in and crushing a random team of noobs. So that's a great moniker for that. Yeah, so I mean, this is a great way to promote esports, going into a pub and, did I just say pub? I really did say pub. Bar, and watching esports with your friends and making new friends. So Dota 2 is my favorite game, possibly. It's like up there. And I want to talk about it a little bit. So Valve, who makes Dota 2, has set a lot of awesome precedents in the esports world. The biggest thing that they've done in the past about year or two, I think it was actually last year, 2013, was releasing this little guy. So this is a digital book that you could buy for $10 and follow their international tournament, which the prize purse exceeded several $1 million. So I'll talk about in the near future, very near future. And in this interactive book, you could predict things, and you could get a score, and you could basically interact with the tournament without really being there, which was a huge draw for this thing. They also had an all-star match, and you could, just like the NBA, you could use your fan vote to vote for your favorite all-star players to make the team. This was a pretty legit service that Valve supplied. So, initial prize purse for this tournament, which was invite only, by the way, and I wasn't invited, so it sucks. $1.6 million. Biggest tournament of all time, right? But guess what? They didn't stop there. Every $10 fans spent on the compendium, as you can see there in the small text, $250 went directly to the prize pool. The other $750 went to Gabe Newell's pocket, I'm sure. But so they had milestones for each they had, stuff that they gave the community for each milestone reached. The community raised $1.2 million and got the prize pool to $2.87 million. So go fans, it's awesome. And I just think this was a great idea and actually ended up benefiting other tournaments after that. So as you can see, initial prize pool for these tournaments, $50K. Amount raised to the community, $86K. That's crazy. So, so this seems like a good push in the right direction. Why don't we just crowdsource the money? So it seems like a good idea. So there are just, like I was saying, there are just so many different things to talk about when it comes to esports. It's hard to decide where to start and where to end. These are jerseys. They're sponsored players, just saying. But really, it really should begin and end with Twitch. I think Twitch is really, if you haven't heard of Twitch, go check it out, twitch.tv. You can watch somebody playing your favorite game and be really funny and good, and you'll enjoy it. I'm 99% sure you'll enjoy it. So I want to share some stats, because I like stats. I'm a researcher. So check this out. This is from their retrospective. And my favorite stat on this, as you're digesting all of this, my favorite stat is that 58% of the users on Twitch spend more than 20 hours per week on Twitch. Just let that sink in. That is a lot of time. Like, these people are playing games and also perhaps playing games, but they're watching streams of games for 20 hours. So it's really, really crazy. I also like that 68% have decreased watching TV. So, sup, Time Warner, Twitch is coming for your dollars. So yeah, and then this was on ongamers.com, which does they're just like an esports blog, up and coming website. So more than Breaking Bad, Tosh O, and the NFL preseason combined. That's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty legit. So. And then if we look at the top 3 games in the esports world currently, which are these 3 bad boys, at any given point in time, one can go on Twitch and see about this many people combined watching these games. Combined. So if we kind of pull that out and we look at, so here are some ballpark numbers for what kind of exists on TV in the sports world. Let's insert our Twitch numbers. I mean, more than the U.S. Open, almost as much as the MLS, just with those 3 games. Yeah, I mean, I'll take that. So I think esports are, we're getting there. I think this is pretty cool. Lastly, on Twitch, so ESL is Esports League. It's just one of the many esports leagues. They released this, so ESL activity on Twitch. So as you can see, it's almost exponential growth from 2009 to 2013. So. That is view sessions on Twitch. So 81 million view sessions on Twitch last year, mostly from the US. So really cool stuff. Twitch is a very exciting company to follow. And then MLG. So MLG is like kind of become a joke in a lot of montage videos, and people joke about Blaze It 420, MLG, no scope, headshot, stuff like that. But the fact is they're still a powerful force in the esports community, and they're still growing, and they're reaching more people than ever, which is probably the most important thing. 170 countries, again, more than 2 hours each. Amazing. And I'm getting to the end. I know I'm going a little over. So the last thing I kind of want to talk about is salary. So these are players that made money in 2004, and the last person I was able to get before the cutoff of the screenshot was 16,500. Last year, the last person I was able to get was making $112,000. So esports are here to stay, and I'm really excited about the future, and I'm really excited about my kids playing video games professionally. And if you look here, these are all like mostly different games. So it's like you pick a game, you get really good at it, and you can be a pro. And it's just you have the same percentage of doing that, like making like the NBA. Why not, right? So the last random thing before we wrap up. So this is the Staples Center, and the Staples Center is known for selling out the Lakers. It's known for selling out concerts like Lady Gaga, but it's also now known for selling out for esports. And I don't mean that in the bad way of selling out. I mean that as in we fucking sold out the Staples Center. Like that's pretty cool. So go gamers. It's really awesome. League of Legends has been doing a lot to further esports. And in conclusion, I just think that an increase in prize money for the players, viewership for the owners, production value for the fans, and professionalism for potential fans like many of you will get and give esports the mainstream following it deserves. That is my thesis. So with that said, follow me on these networks, connect with me. I'm happy to talk and play games at length. So thank you very much. I would be happy to take questions. Yes, sir.
How has the rise of esports affected how games are being developed and sort of created?
Fantastic question. So Having worked at Kixeye, yeah, of course. So how's the rise of esports contributed to how games are developed, or how's it affected the way games are developed? So at Kixeye, we have started a Twitch stream of our upcoming MOBA, and I think more and more. So Sean Day9 Plot, who's a famous esports contributor, has actually done a GDC talk on this. Now, a lot of developers are actually considering the fact that their game not only needs to be playable, but also needs to be watchable. So that's a very important concept that has kind of flown through the gaming industry, and I think that's only going to be like more and more important as Twitch gets bigger and bigger, which it seems to be continuing to get bigger and bigger. So it's all about how fun is your game to play and how fun is it to watch. And a lot of games have actually built in Twitch streaming. The one that I've played most recently is Path of Exile. You can log into the game with your Twitch account, and they will stream the game for you. So people care a lot about streaming now, and it's pretty cool. Yeah. Can you gamble on esports? I haven't been to Vegas in 5 years, so I'm sure. I honestly don't know. I mean, why not, right? I mean, gambling's legal everywhere, right? So I don't know. Yeah. What is the most accessible competitive video game? That is a tough question. Gamers in the crowd, I want to crowdsource this question. I'm going to say League of Legends, but Hearthstone? Hell no. Yeah. I like. So you could check out Super Smash. So first of all, my recommendation is to go on Twitch.tv and just click around and see what appeals to you. If that fails, check out Street Fighter, Super Smash Brothers, or Hearthstone. Those are all pretty like easy to understand games, I think, relatively. Yeah. What is my favorite fighting game and what character do I play? Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Fuck Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike and Oro. Oro or Urien? Yeah. Okay, last one. Yeah, back middle, yeah. I didn't hear. Yes. So I am all about like equal and like, oh my God. So this is gonna be a whole nother talk that you're gonna make me go on, but basically, so what I can say is women in esports has only just started becoming like a thing. And before it was kind of just like a novelty, which I think is fucking stupid, but now it's like, yes, there are actual female teams, and yes, they're actually competing co-ed, and they're actually doing well. So look at League of Legends and Dota 2. There are female esports teams in there. I honestly want to see it get to a point where like we can include women with men, and for some reason it hasn't happened yet, but I'm sure it will soon. So cool, thanks.